Are you ready to put on your masks? Because today, we are going to talk about one of the greatest icons in cinema history. A legend who stands against injustice and represents resistance, freedom, and ideas that refuse to die. Remember the 5th of November. The Gunpowder treason and plot. There is no reason to forget. These famous lines, which most of us know through V for Vendetta, are not just poetic words. They are rooted in a real historical event. The story goes back to the early 17th century and a conspiracy known as the Gunpowder Plot, led by Guy Fawkes and a group of Catholic dissidents who opposed King James I and the political and religious oppression of the era. Contrary to popular belief, Guy Fawkes was not the mastermind of the plot. The plan was organized primarily by Robert Catesby, while Fawkes was chosen for one crucial reason: he was an expert in explosives. Having served as a soldier, he had extensive knowledge of gunpowder and underground structures. His task was simple but deadly: guard the barrels of gunpowder placed beneath the House of Lords and ignite them during the state opening of Parliament on November 5. Their true goal was not merely destruction. They wanted to spark rebellion, to create a shock so powerful that people would finally rise against a system they believed was unjust. But the plan failed. A warning letter sent anonymously to a nobleman exposed the conspiracy. Guy Fawkes was found guarding the explosives, arrested, tortured, and eventually executed. So why did a failed assassination attempt echo so loudly through history? Because Guy Fawkes became more than a man. He became a symbol. From that moment on, anyone who wished to challenge authority, regardless of ideology, walked in the shadow of the path he unknowingly opened. And the most influential work that revived this symbol for the modern world is, without question, V for Vendetta. The film's protagonist, known only as V, is not just a man. He is an idea born from loss, pain, and systematic cruelty. V once had a family, parents who stood proudly against an authoritarian regime. Because of that courage, they were taken from him. Their deaths shaped V's entire existence. On the other side of the story stands Evey Hammond. Unlike V, Evey lives in fear. She obeys the rules, avoids attention, and tries to survive quietly in a totalitarian state. One night, during a curfew, she steps outside, and that moment changes everything. She is confronted by secret police officers who abuse their power, threatening and humiliating her. Evey begs them to stop, promising obedience, promising silence. She is terrified, but suddenly, V appears. He effortlessly neutralizes the officers and saves her. This scene contains a crucial detail. Evey is polite and submissive to her attackers, yet fearful and defensive even toward her rescuer. V, on the other hand, speaks not of obedience but of rebellion. When the police attempt to capture V, Evey makes a split-second decision, and helps him escape. Knowing her life is now in danger, V brings her to his home, beginning a journey that will transform them both. Later, while watching a film together, V asks Evey if she liked it. She answers sadly, saying the protagonist valued revenge more than the woman he loved. This moment foreshadows the core tragedy of V's character, because when the time comes, he will make the same choice. V's past is revealed gradually. Years earlier, the regime conducted human experiments in a detention camp called Larkhill. Test subjects were subjected to inhumane conditions. Most of them died. Only one survived. That survivor was V. The name, V, carries meaning. Vendetta means revenge, and V is also the Roman numeral for 5, the number of the cell where V was imprisoned. His identity, his pain, and his mission are inseparable. As the story progresses, V systematically assassinates those responsible for Larkhill and for manipulating the public. His first target is a government propagandist, a television host known as the Voice of Britain, who helped spread lies and fear. Another target is a corrupt bishop, exposed as a predator who hides behind religion. Evey is asked to distract the bishop, but in a moment of fear, she betrays V and tells the authorities about him. Yet even this betrayal leads nowhere. The bishop refuses to believe her and continues his abuse, until V arrives and kills him. At this point, Evey still hasn't overcome her fear. Seeking safety, she runs to Gordon Dietrich, a comedian and talk show host who openly criticizes the regime. But rebellion has a price. Gordon is arrested, and his home is raided. This scene mirrors Evey's childhood trauma. As a little girl, when police came for her parents, her mother hid her under the bed. Years later, history repeats itself. Evey hides under the bed once again. The message is clear. As long as Evey submits to fear, she will continue to lose the people she loves. Eventually, Evey is captured and imprisoned. Her head is shaved. She is tortured. The only way out is to betray V, but something has changed. As the suffering continues, her fear fades. She refuses to speak. She chooses death over submission. And when she believes she is about to be executed, she realizes the truth. There were no police. There was no prison. V orchestrated the entire experience, not out of cruelty, but to free her from fear. He subjected her to a fraction of the pain he endured, so she could become the person she once wished to be, brave, free, and unafraid. From that moment on, their paths begin to diverge. V moves toward his final plan. Evey moves toward a life without fear. On the streets, symbols begin to appear. A child paints V's symbol on a wall. People begin wearing Guy Fawkes masks. When the child is killed, public anger explodes. The spark has become a flame. V reveals his final plan: explosives placed beneath Parliament, timed for November 5th. But this is no longer about revenge. V understands that a revolution cannot be imposed. So he gives the choice to Evey. Because V knows the truth. He is only a symbol. The real power belongs to the people. This is what separates V from chaos-driven figures like the Joker. The Joker wants to prove humanity is evil. V wants to prove humanity deserves better. He doesn't just want to destroy a system. He wants people to build something fairer in its place. In the final confrontation, V faces the regime's leader and his soldiers. They shoot him relentlessly, yet he keeps walking. When asked why he won't die, V delivers one of cinema's most iconic lines: "Beneath this mask there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof." Though mortally wounded, V completes his mission. He dies in Evey's arms, not as a man, but as a legend. Evey places his body on the train and pulls the lever. As the band music plays, Parliament explodes. Thousands of masked citizens watch together. Among them are faces of characters who died earlier in the film, a reminder that they all sacrificed themselves for the same cause. V did not just change the people in the film. He changed the real world. Years after the movie's release, Guy Fawkes masks still appear in protests across the globe. That alone proves V's impact. And here is the final irony. The famous rhyme we all know, "Remember, remember the 5th of November," was originally written to mock Guy Fawkes. In England, his death was celebrated for centuries. Bonfires were lit in joy. But V for Vendetta reversed the meaning of that poem. It turned mockery into mourning, condemnation into inspiration. That is why V remains one of the most powerful characters in cinema history. Because he doesn't just fight injustice on screen. He asks us to confront it in real life. And if anyone is disturbed by this message, let me leave you with one final sentence. There is an idea behind this story. And ideas are bulletproof. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to support the channel. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with people who still believe ideas can change the world. Because stories like this don't just belong to movies. They belong to all of us who refuse to stay silent. Remember, ideas are bulletproof.